Welcome to video 1 in this completely 100% no-code programmatic SEO case study. So I'm going to try and build a site using no code at all, which is quite hard for me because making it with code is a lot easier for me. So I'm trying to make this example applicable to people who don't have any coding skills or want to just try this out and see what they can spin up very quickly. So I have found a database of statistics in the US. So there's a lot of cities in here and it covers things like the population, the economy, crime rates, even some data around weather and other things in here, which I think is quite an interesting one. Now, typically I wouldn't recommend just taking a database as is from somewhere, importing it to WordPress and expecting fantastic results, because it's an easy thing to do. A lot of people can buy this and build their own website with the exact same data as you. So I would imagine most of this data comes from the US Census Bureau, which is completely freely available. You just have to go and find it. And they've got quite a nice tool on their website. They have some quite interesting data on their website, and you can mix and match this and add filters to it with geos at state level. For example, you could do all states, and then it will give you information by state here. So we can see the population of white people in Alabama, Alaska. There's a lot of data, and this is just for one table in the Census Bureau. There's plenty of other options here to do with demographics, housing, age and sex. So there's ways to get data that's very similar to this, but is split in a way that could be unique to your website. And then you can take that and perform other calculations on it if you wanted to, either hire a VA or work in Excel to sort of get this into a completely unique format. Data really is the key with any programmatic website, regardless of whether you're using code or not. You want the best data possible, and you want data that gives you a moat that somebody else can't just come and take. Like, I have sites in this niche, not exactly the same as this, but similar, and I'm not worried about other people being able to compete with me because my data is unique. I've done a lot of stuff to make it my own. And that's the big takeaway here, is whenever you're picking data, is to just make sure that it's as unique as possible and you can do something that nobody else can do, or they can't do it easily at least. But for this example, I'm going to use this because there's a lot of information and we can make unique pages out of this. I'll just have a quick look. Again, I'll go and do some keyword research, just grab some of these ideas like air quality and things, and see what kind of searches there are. So there's something called a comfort index, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of volume, but there's 46 keywords here that AHREFs knows about, and there may be more beyond that as well. And all of these, even though it's 0 to 10, AHREFs doesn't really know what these are going to drive in terms of traffic. It's something that's so, because we have the data in the data set, we could easily create a page for each city and state with the comfort index on it. I'm probably going to build one page per city and have different sections covering everything. Rather than doing a specific comfort index page, I'm going to do a complete statistics of Fort Collins, Colorado, and it will include comfort index as one of those pieces of information, and then I can have the table of contents at the top. And then if the site starts to rank, then we could start breaking these out into individual topics where it makes sense, when we have some data to see what traffic we're getting. Other keywords that we can have here: how many sunny days in Seattle, Denver. A lot of these probably will be answered by Google in the rich snippets, so there are probably already going to be answers there, but that's fine because we're going to target a lot of these on the page. I'm going to try and get 1,000 words of content at least on the page for each city and state, and that hopefully will help us to get some long tail stuff. You don't know what you're going to rank for at this stage, so it's better to just try everything and just see where Google puts you. We've also got air quality. This looks like a nice one. Some big traffic terms here for different places. And stuff like this, worst air quality in the US, we could filter our data in the spreadsheet and sort it from lowest to highest air quality and then create a list. That could be a blog post. Doesn't have to be programmatic. We could just pull the list and then copy and paste it into a normal WordPress template and then write about each place and then link into them. So you can target things. Once we've got this, we can start to target more specific topics that don't need to be programmatic. Water quality is another one. And I think there's more data around this as well. I think you can get data. I've definitely seen programmatic sites targeting water quality, which has a lot of information about the pH in the water, different things for city, state, and maybe even zip codes as well. So there's ways to expand this out further. Unemployment rate, huge. Not sure I trust the keyword difficulty. Seems like relatively low for these, but there's a lot of keywords here as well. And what else we got? Property taxes. So we have that in the database as well. So we could do a section on property taxes. Elevation levels, which could come into the weather as well. Air quality, weather, elevation. Median household income, probably too competitive to really go after, despite what these say. But we'll put it on the page and see what the long tail brings. So that's the project, that's the keyword research that's all I'm doing. I just want to see that there is information there. And there is, and I know this niche can be a big traffic generator. And I have display ad sites in this niche doing really well, or similar niches at the very least. So that's where we're going with this project. And it's going to be a lot easier than the other case study that I did, because I'm not going to do any data manipulation beforehand. I'm not going to do any code whatsoever. So in the next video, we can dive straight into WordPress and import this database as is, basically. So head to that video now and we'll get the site rolling.